this is Scrapping Amy with Little Mommy Scrapping, and welcome to How to Kill a Kit with Style. I have a photograph of my daughter at our Mooresville wing wall, and I decided I wanted to do some watercolor with this. So I am putting clear gesso down on this paper. I'm going to let it dry, and then I'm going to mix some of the colors to do the background. So it's off drying now, trying to find a place to put it. And I decide I want to do the purple and the green. Now I have swatched all of my paints on that watercolor paper, so I have an idea of what everything looks like, and nothing quite matched. So I'm pulling out this green, or first I pulled out the purple, and the purple is cobalt violet, and the green is sap green light. And like I said, neither works, so I'm trying to mix and come up with something. I put a little bit of the ultramarine pale in with the purple, and it lightens it up, and it's almost right, but it needs to be a little dustier, I guess. And I don't have a gray, which is what I was hoping to do. It just needed a little touch of gray, so I put some black in there, and I'm starting to get closer to the color that I want. And it's just a lot of trial and error. Add a little bit more of this, a little bit more of that. There's more of that ultramarine pale in there. A little bit more purple in there. And finally, I'm like, okay, I think this is going to work. Now to do the green. I actually have white watercolor. I didn't even know they really made white watercolor that worked. But you can see it does lighten up that green beautifully. And I wanted to add a little bit more yellow, because I felt like what was on the floral paper there had a little more yellow in it. So I added the cadmium yellow and then some more white, and then I'm finally at the point where it's close enough that it works. So I'm going to clean up a little bit and then grab my paper. And y'all, I have to say, this layout was so hard. Everything that could go wrong seemed to. Like, I didn't mix up enough of the green paint. And I want it to drip, and everybody makes it look so easy when they're doing it on camera. I am here to tell you, I am not a mixed media expert, but I'm trying. I like the drips, and I wanted it to dry a little bit, but I am too dang impatient. So I'm like, let's just get some purple on there. And I tried to leave a little bit of space between the purple and the green so they wouldn't muddy together, because I didn't want that. And it ended up, it turned out pretty well, pretty nice. I'm trying to get that purple drip at the bottom to actually like drip somewhere, and it just won't. So I'm letting that dry now, which took forever and a day. And I am now cutting this floral strip. Now it's an 8x8 sheet of paper, so technically it's like 16 inches long right now. And I know I'm going to end up figuring out how to overlap it. And I've had this black pom-pom ribbon forever, and I'm trying to figure out how to use that. Oh, it's just a matter of trying to get it all in. And then I decide, let's fussy cut. Because, you know, when you're having a hard day trying to get a layout to work, fussy cutting is the answer, right? Yeah, not for me. I fussy cut this. I don't even use it, y'all. But I left it in to show, hey, I am desperately trying. That little green scallop I have had forever too. I mean, well, I've had it since I've had this kit. But I've not been able to use it. I'm finally doing something that has a bunch of green in it. And I'm like, I'm going to use this green scallop. So I'm thinking maybe I could put all the extra little hearts that I have along that seam that's going to be on the side, kind of to bridge where the floral and the watercolor would be. And I don't have enough hearts. So I'm like, great. So the watercolor paper is not quite dry yet, and I grab my heat gun, zap it with that for a couple minutes, cut out a lot of footage, and it's finally dry enough to work with. So then I realize I want it to do like it's dripping down, and now I'm wishing I had put the drips further down. Like, why did I do this up so high? And I'm trying to use the washi tape, which I hadn't used yet. And then, this ribbon, I don't know what you call it, trim? I guess it's trim. This pom-pom trim will not stay down. Like, I'm like, I know I've used similar things before and it would stay. So I get the idea. I'm going to use a lot of glue, I'm going to use my binder clips to hold it down. Sorry about my hair there. And see if that will work. It doesn't, I question it the entire time, and I'm waiting for it to dry. And it actually does turn out, it does work. I had a little bit more glue, and then I set it aside. And then I'm back to the paper trying to figure out how to make this paper work. So I realized that the design repeats, but not perfectly. So I'm going to overlap and trim so that I have what looks like one continuous piece of paper. To be really completely honest, it wouldn't have mattered with how it ended up, because yeah, can't even see. But I trimmed the rest of that scallop paper, and I am matting my photo, and then I get glue on it. That's not the only time I'm going to get glue on it, let me tell you. And I'm trying to figure out how to layer it so that you can see the photo, you can see the paper, I can get the scallops in there. Ugh. I've got all these hearts. I'm pulling out the orange, the green, and I think some of the pink hearts that's in the paper too. Yeah, still not working. All that stuff I just pulled out, I think I end up using like 2 of them. I end up using that big circle, and I end up using the bird, and that's it. So I'm like, okay, I think I know how this is going to go. I'm feeling good about it. I wish I had remembered that orange heart right there, because that would have been quite nice. And I have a feeling I want to go back after I'm done editing and like somehow stick it in there, but I don't know. So the trim is down. I put glue on it and then realized maybe I should trim it first. Oh, and look, you missed so much of the paint. Like, I wish it had been a little bit lower. That's okay. I decided to go ahead and pop this up on foam because of that pom-pom trim. I have the photo overlapping just a little bit of it. And then I haven't inked anything really with this How to Kill a Kit series with this particular kit, but I needed something to keep that round circle which says I am here to live out loud separate. And I put the green scallop over on the left side, and then I pulled these heart stickers, and I decided, oh, this would work really well right here. And then comes the title, and I'm like, all of a sudden I blank. Like, I had an idea of the title the entire time I'm doing it, and I couldn't come up with anything. So I finally hit upon Uniquely You, and I'm using the black puffy to do you. And then I grab my phone and just turn on Siri and say the word uniquely, and she's like, I have no clue what you're talking about, which I don't care if she has any clue what I'm talking about. I just needed the word on the screen, which I promptly then spelled wrong from the start and put the L as the very last letter. I'm like, and then I messed it up. I'm like, let me make sure I get this right. So after I finish the title, I'm pretty much done. I'm going to add in that bird. And I decide I want it next to the word you, so I want it on 2 layers of foam. And oh my gosh, that kept sticking to my fingers, and it was a headache. Like, it doesn't look so bad when it's sped up. But trust me, in regular, it was awful. I'm putting the date on it. And then once I get that tape on the bird, I realized, oh, I don't want it by the word you. And I'm like, really? And the reason is because it covered up more of the drips, and I didn't want any more drips. So I'm putting on some of these little Amy Tan hearts, and close-ups are coming up. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you later. Bye.